Life's not fair, it never was, it isn't now, and it won't ever be. Do not fall into the trap.
Mathew McConaughey gave a speech that only took him 5 minutes, but the wisdom it holds will change your life for the next 50 years. Mathew McConaughey starts with an opening line suggesting that success is relative. Whatever it is to you, he says you should not choose anything that jeopardizes it, and work hard to maintain it. True success starts with knowing who you are not. Mathew calls this the process of elimination. It leads us to understand who we really are. The next thing he warns against is trusting too many options. Options are tyrants and a waste of time. Decreasing your options makes you more focused. Since we are the architects of our lives, it is best to study the habits, practices, and routines that have led to our success, joy, pain, and tears. Dissect and give thanks for those things. We get better when we break down critical aspects of our lives. Of course, mistakes are inevitable, but you need to own them. However, you should make amends and move on. Guilt and regrets kill a man before his time. Everyone wants to be happy all the time. Unfortunately, it is impossible. You may occasionally be unhappy with work or personal life, and the effect will seep into your everyday life. How then do you keep yourself happy? Mathew explains the difference between happiness and joy. Happiness is an emotional response to an outcome. He believes that if you're after happiness, you'll be let down often. But joy is different. It's not a choice or a response to some result. It is the feeling of doing something we love. Mathew admits that he started enjoying his work when he stopped trying to make his daily labor a means to an end. He realizes that doing so jeopardizes his soul. Instead of antagonizing his character, he'd prioritize who he is and what he wants to be. You see, Stoics emphasize the cultivation of inner virtues. However, they also recognize the importance of self-care in maintaining balance. Stoicism encourages individuals to prioritize their physical and mental well-being. It is a way to live a more fulfilling and harmonious life. Stoics also understand that self-care sometimes leads to imbalance and may hinder one's ability to live virtuously. They recognize that taking care of one's physical health and engaging in activities bring joy and fulfillment in other areas of one's life. This is one Stoic rule of Mathew's speech. The question is, do you prioritize yourself? After self-care comes the desire to find your true self. Many years ago, his father owned a gas station and ran an oil business. He and his brothers were actively involved in it. But then Mathew grew increasingly uncomfortable with the idea. He wanted to be a lawyer because he loved the career. But when he discovered an inspirational Augmendino book, The Greatest Salesman in the World, his perspective changed. He knew he had to change from law to film. He began his acting career in 1991 and appeared in student films and commercials in Texas. He even directed short films like Chicano Chariots in 1992. One famous quote says, "Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom." It may not be the beginning of all wisdom per se, but it is a good start. When you discover who you are not, consciously try to find who you are. When you do, become an expert in that field. Ask yourself, who am I, and who do I want to be? Think about your values. Trust your instincts and feelings. After that, be strong and courageous to pursue life. More importantly, be kind to yourself. Getting to know yourself is the most exciting journey you'll ever make. Enjoy it while it lasts. The process of elimination is another aspect of discovering self. It's one of the most audacious moves ever. McConaughey starred in a couple of romantic comedies in the 1990s. This became his brand, and he made so much money from it. However, he realized that the niche hampered his personal growth. One day he called his agent and said he would no longer do romantic comedies. Despite knowing the risk of not getting calls from Hollywood producers, he took the bold step. 20 months later, he started receiving offers for serious author-backed roles. The new challenge set him on a path to winning an Oscar. He gambled his way into being a successful and serious actor. This would have been impossible without that big decision. He says, "I went through an unbranding phase to then rebrand. Again, process of elimination. I wasn't able to do or become what I wanted to become, but I chose to say, well, I'm going to stop doing what I've been doing." Our world is filled with unlimited options. It becomes difficult to decide who you truly are. This makes it so easy to fall into the trap of uncertainty. Elimination is a necessary process that helps you narrow down and bring you closer to a more authentic version of yourself. Who would have thought that McConaughey would do well as a serious actor? Don't worry about people's opinions. Live your life like the Stoics. By eliminating unnecessary options, distractions, and opinions, you're that much closer to finding the real you. It takes courage and willpower to peel off the layers bit by bit. In fact, you lose people whom you consider friends, but that's fine. You'll inch closer to finding your life's purpose as you eliminate activities that don't interest you and narrow your passions. Are you happy with where you are and what you're doing? Can you take a calculated risk and rebrand yourself? Take the bold step today and tell us about your rebranding in the comments section. McConaughey's speech emphasizes the inevitability of mistakes. It's okay to derail, but when you do, take ownership, make amends, and move forward. What follows a mistake are consequences. You lose money, your career is messed up, or your life takes a new turn. It often ends in regret, shame, anger, and blame. Sometimes you wish things were otherwise. Stoicism is not about the blame game. Instead, it is about personal evaluation. When you mess up and come face to face with the consequences, you must ask yourself this: what can I learn from this? Why did my life turn out this way? What signs did I miss? You can look at the habits that landed you there and make amends. Also consider the payoff you got from the indulgence and examine whether it was worth it. That way, you learn from the past without leaning on it. Mathew McConaughey has also had a fair share of mistakes. In one of his scandalous incidents in 1999, he was naked in his home and his windows were open. He decided to smoke a bowl and listen to African music that night. But then the Austin police burst into his house and arrested him. He was charged with the possession of marijuana, disturbing the peace, and resisting arrest. The actor refused to put his clothes back on. He later got away with a fine of $50 and bad publicity. Despite all of these, he went on to win the Oscar for Best Performance by an Actor in 2014.
And the Oscar goes to Mathew McConaughey.
His role in the 2013 movie Dallas Buyers Club earned him widespread praise and numerous accolades. Mathew McConaughey will leave you motivated to follow the steps of a true Stoic. But on the other hand, Jordan Peterson has left us in a Stoic dilemma. Should he be considered a Stoic icon, or does he deserve to get fired? Click now and find out.